We were debt free except our house. Why would you want to go back into like a slave mindset? Why would you want to go back into like why? Why would you do that?
So after committing financial infidelity, I found it important in order to rebuild trust. I had to tell the truth about everything. And so one part about that process is that I needed to answer any questions that Abby might have. What you're about to see is a conversation coming forward about the debt that I owed. I found that taking the time to list everything out, to itemize it, to look at the different agreements that I had with the different credit card companies and creditors was really important. And I found that that you can't take action on something until you really know what you're taking action on. It took and continues to take work. It took a lot of truth telling. And it also was going to be helpful to us figuring out, okay, like, where do we go from here? And so this is what it looks like to begin to heal while looking at the hard facts. I'll just read like the questions that you asked me and then like my answers. The first question, do you plan to accumulate more debt and how much? And I said, I don't plan to accumulate more. And at this point, I need to focus on paying this off and contributing to our together goals. And so that's my answer to number one.
Okay.
Number two, do you think you can pay it off in a year? And then if so, how? I said, yes, I can. And I said, I'll be dedicated to working a job that makes a more stable income, and 50% at minimum of that money that I make will go towards a debt snowball to pay off this amount. Next one is list all your accounts on paper, the interest rates, the monthly payments, and then the balances as of today. So here that is. On the Barclays card is $13,520. The interest rate is 20%, and then the monthly minimum is $366. Amazon is $633. I mean, there's this promo period of like 0% up to 18 months, but after that point, it's 18%. The minimum is $33 a month. Care credit account is 0% for 6 months, and then I believe after that it's like something like 24, something like that, and that's like has a minimum of $28 a month. And then remaining on the computer that I have is $650, and it's a 0% lease to own option, and that's at $97 a month. And the total is $15,680, and my minimums are at $524 a month for minimum payments. So let me interrupt to give a little bit more context and truth. Sometime after this meeting, I learned that I owed deferred interest on a credit card account and a merchant account. Since this was a business account, I didn't include it in our original calculation of the debt owed. How much was that? Another $5,000, bringing the grand total to a little over $20,000. The next question is how much debt to you is too much debt? And then come up with a number if you can. I can't come up with a number. I think the conversation is about leverage. And then I put in parentheses, which I'm in no place to talk about because obviously I didn't do this correctly.
Well, obviously.
You need a minute? Okay. What are you comfortable with in regards to debt as your lifestyle? And I said again, I've gone into debt in an unwise, unleveraged way in order to bring a result that takes more time. I was unwise and I rushed. And I said to be able to have cash flowed everything would have been ideal. And then I asked a question. I said, what happens when an opportunity arrives and your cash doesn't match what is needed? Do you forego that opportunity?
It was a major day today. Pretty much I closed our account. I took out all the money that was in there, which was about close to $17,000. And we're going to put that towards paying off the debt and just working our way back up. And for me, I was just like, we can't act like we got it when we don't got it. You know what I mean? Like, if you have the same amount of debt that you have in your savings, then like you don't really have savings. That's just my conviction, you know? So I was like, I have to live true to that. That interest would have kept accruing, especially on that one credit card. He hasn't heard back from any of these interviews he's had. And I was like, even if he heard back and got a job today, we're still going to be paying it off in such a slow rate that it's like, no, let's just pay it all off, be debt free by Monday, and then, or as close to it. I think we'll still have like a couple thousand to go, and then he could work towards paying off the couple thousand and then rebuilding our savings. Yeah, so I just want to give y'all an update. God is working, just to be able to have the level of like strength, peace, joy in this whole journey and this process, you know, to still have like an emotional connection to him, to not feel like angry or hurt or betrayed anymore. Like, God is just a healer, a mender of hearts that are broken, and he's helping us to rebuild and repair our trust. Something I thought about, I'm curious to know like what you think, like as I was taking money from Gia's account, to what extent you feel entitled to like her money.
Our situation doesn't have anything necessarily like to do with her, but yeah, she is impacted by it. And as far as like building for her future or putting away for her, whenever I was making my choices and decisions, like,
you didn't consider that.
I didn't consider that, you know, which the root of it is just pride and selfishness, man. And so it's like, wow, like I just rationalize my selfish thoughts and my way of doing things, like for my own betterment, or even at times like the betterment, quote unquote, like of our family. But it's like to be now in this position where you have to make that choice in that move to move money out of Gia's account, like with her name and just everything that you think of whenever you want to be a blessing to your child. It's like I have taken from her. And
it's interesting. It's interesting, like just this idea of programming, and how with whatever you're programmed with from your upbringing, from your childhood, from your household, it's just so embedded in your subconscious that you'll sabotage in order to fit the negative patterns of your programming very unknowingly. Like you were saying, you weren't thinking of like, in essence, robbing from Gia or like taking from her or hindering something. And there's been different things, whether it's like a private school opportunity or other things we've thought about that we want to give her or do for her, travel, that it's kind of like the near future can't be a reality because of the responsibility now we have to clear up this debt. And that's how deep programming is, and why you have to be so intentional and so deliberate when you're trying to undo certain things of how certain things were done. Because it will literally just happen. Like, you're not even thinking, and you're like, oh wow, look at this situation, and now it's impacted my child. And it's like, well, yeah, that's what happens, you know.
a lot of my talk to myself was like, if I can just get this amount of money or land this client, or I'm about to drop this $1,000, or I'm going to pay for this advertising and I hope that it will, or based on like my goal is, or based on what I'm trying to do, like this is going to happen. But it's like that kind of phrase, like if I can just, that's not intentional. Talking,
it's a hope and a prayer.
It's a hope and a prayer. The if I can just conversation, as opposed to like I'm going to because of.
Right.
It's a totally different thing.
Yep. Praise God. I don't even feel the need to like guard my heart against him possibly making another mistake that would like hurt me. And just the fact of how safe I feel because of spending time with the Lord and who God has proven himself to be to me, not even off of anything like my husband has said to me, but just the confidence and the love and security I have. It's like, oh, God is amazing. So I just want to give y'all an update. I thank you so much for your prayers and your support. I really could not do it without my ladies of Golex. Love you.